I think, Geshe,
Hmm.
we do have a question online from one of the people on Zoom. The question is, grief. Grief comes in different degrees, and you have talked about how do we deal with life's eventuality. So, Sudarshan wants to know, in everyone's life, there comes a time when there is immense grief, there's utmost grief. So, how do we deal with that? And how do we ensure that we are able to overcome it for good inner peace and a healthy life after that grief?
Now, as I was saying, all problems, including grief, comes because of our not having larger perspective of the law of nature and life. When we live with our family members and close friends, and especially the person you love, you think I will live with this person forever. Misplaced understanding. So right in the beginning, you should have this idea that I don't know when he's going to die. I don't know when I'm going to die. Now today, if you say something like this, फिर क्या बोलते हैं आप लोग? ऐसे अशुभ शब्द मत बोलो. You don't want to listen to the real story. ये अशुभ नहीं है, reality है. So if you are somebody who has this understanding right from the beginning, actually you will live your life much more harmoniously, much more better. Because now I don't know when he's going to die. So therefore, right now, when we are living together, I must be nice to my brother, sister, wife, husband, whatever. So when that person dies, you have no regret. When you were living together, you lived nicely. Now, hota kya hai? Ki when we are living together, after the honeymoon, okay? Before the honeymoon, you look nice. I love you, you love me, you're over the board, dancing on the cloud, things like that, right? And then after the honeymoon, gradually the familiarity breeds contempt. वो शुरू हो जाता है. Then you don't also talk nicely to each other, don't not so nice to each other. But then again, I mean, once that somebody that person dies, then you shed your crocodile tear. हाँ 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 हाँ, रोना बिलखना दिखाने के लिए चाहिए सब कुछ आपको. I'm a little bit on the extreme side. I'm a little bit exaggerating, but what I'm saying is this is what we do normally. So the Buddha said, don't do anything useless. Do those things which is useful. Useful means when you're living together, live nicely. Let your husband, wife do good things so that after the death, his soul or mind doesn't go to a bad state. All those things you do. And when that person dies, you have nothing to regret. You accept, yes. Meeting is parting. If you don't want parting, don't meet, don't marry. Things like that. So these are all question of understanding the reality. That's why I give you the example of 8 billion human population, you see. And then the most important thing is if grieving is a solution, then you grieve as long as you want. That's not solution. Yesterday in my talk also people were talking, I was talking about happiness, unhappiness. Then they asked me, are you, Gishila, are you really happy? I said, I'm happy. Then the question was followed by saying, when there's so much suffering around, how can you be happy? Then I said, my unhappiness will not solve their problem, so I'm happy. Because at least if I'm happy, I will be in a state to be able to extend my help and go around and help. You see, if your mind also disturbed, then see the other problems. How are you going to help others? You see. So that's the thing. So therefore, it's really, really important to understand law of nature, see everything from a larger perspective, accept reality. Reality, don't try to go against reality. With this so-called science and other things, we are trying to, in many ways, we are trying to go against reality. There was a time when people die, they die in your home, you look after them, they die, सब कुछ होता था. Now, when somebody is about to die, he's whisked away to a hospital and died there. Nobody knows when he died. You see, कुछ नहीं होता है. And then after the death, you put in the cremation ground and put some nice flowers. अब क्या करेंगे जब आदमी मर गया तो धो के फ्लावर करके वहां जाके रोके ऐसे करता है हम लोग पता नहीं क्यों करता है ज्यादा फायदा नहीं And now we, as you mentioned, we don't want to see the ugly side. The cremation is also in many so-called developed countries. The cremation is the place of cremation is somewhere where not everybody can see. It's a little bit hidden. It's treated as a taboo, ugly side. This is our mental attitude. But this is based on because we have no understanding of what death is. Death is not something to be scared about. It's something to be understood. Death and life are part of the two sides of the same coin. And the so-called death that we normally understand is not the death of the person, not the death of the mind. It's just the change of the body. And that change of the body actually takes place every day we are dying. Scientifically, I'm not just saying from Buddhist view. Every day we are dying. So much so they say that after every 7 years, you're completely different person. So there's this very interesting story of a criminal who was caught and imprisoned. And after 7 years, he said, I'm completely different person. Release me from the prison. So it's like that. So now in my case, I already undergone major death 7 times. 70 means. And then minor death, I'm dying every day. Change is taking place every day. And we are not cognizant of that. We are still thinking, I'm going to live forever. And the problem is, if you plan going to live forever, then you need more building, more cars, these things, you know. If you are prepared to die, then there will be contentment, there will be less greed. इतना ठीक है, बैठने के लिए जगह है, सोने के लिए कमरा है, खाने के लिए खाना है, इतना ठीक है बस, और नहीं चाहिए. अभी दुनिया क्या हो रहा है, और चाहिए, और चाहिए, और चाहिए. That's the problem. Okay.